What's going on, everyone? Fire Ice Talon here again. Back at you with another video. In this video, I want to show you how to use a little program here called Doomgaze. This is a trainer from back in the day. A lot of cheaters actually used this back in the day to export people's gear and shit like that, and it was really used for malicious purposes. And it kind of has a bad rap for that reason. But in today's day and age, with the Diablo population being so small and whatnot, using a tool like this isn't such a big deal in my opinion anymore. And besides, people are gonna mule their items or save their items with a third-party program in one way or another, whether it's with this application, Blue Scorpio's Diablo Saver, or the Torch mod, or something or another, or like that. That's just what people are going to do, just because it's hard to find people to host, or even who play at all. Like I said, the Diablo population is really small, and those rare instances where you can find somebody to host a game for you, chances are they can't host, because a lot of people don't have their ports forwarded. So if you have a little tool like this, it eliminates the process or the need to mule entirely. You can just keep an item pool by using this program that creates item files for you. It also saves your characters too. You have your multi-SV files that you can back up manually if you want to save your characters. But you can save your characters with character files with this program too. So if you have like different builds and stuff you have on a character that you want to use and alternate between, this program is perfect for that. I guess I want to show you guys the main features on how to import, export items, and change builds on the fly using Doomgaze. So let's start first. I have Fire Ice Talon here, naked with no items, because I specifically want to show you guys how to import the gear. What you're gonna do is first, you're gonna go to Edit. And you'll see the features here: edit, delete, export, import. The only features you're really going to be using on this window right here are export and import. Those are the only two buttons you're going to use. You're not going to use edit or delete really. So let's import some gear from Fire Ice. You're going to hit the import button, and you're going to go to the respective folder of where your items are at that you want to import. So we're going to go into my Diablo folder, Items Fire Ice Talon. And as you can see here, this is a list of her gear that she uses. And before I import though, let me show you something. Let's cancel out. Or maybe just, here, let's go back. These first few slots here, it says they're all empty. But these are actually slots in your inventory, and the slots on your character where your gear is equipped. This first one here, that's where that's your helm slot. This one is going to be, I believe that's your amulet. These two are rings. Then I believe this is weapon, and that would be shield. Or in this case, if I import a bow, it's going to go into that slot, I believe. And then I believe this one or this one of the two, is your armor slot. So without further ado, let's import some of her items. I'm going to go to a folder here, and let's import her royal circlet. And then in this slot, I believe that's the amulet slot. If it's the wrong slot, you can just re-equip the gear, which you're going to need to do anyways once you're done importing. We'll import this amulet, and let's put in some rings. I believe these are the ring slots, but like I said, it doesn't matter. You're going to rearrange them anyway. Let's import a bow. And then let's do a plate. Then once you're done importing everything you want, you hit OK. I'm in windowed mode here, so I have to hit Diablo. I'm using the, as you can see, the 2.01 patch here. This is a special patch that was released by, I forget the guy's name, but he made this specifically for like Windows 10 users, because as you guys know, getting Diablo to run on newer operating systems can be very difficult. This is the only way I can play Diablo now on Windows 10, is by using this patch, which is kind of like a window mode. You can make it full screen and maximum size, but I have it in window mode right now to make it easier to show you guys how to use Doomgaze. But anyways, let's open up the inventory. Yeah, as you see, it imported the items, but they're kind of in the wrong slots, so we just fixed that. And there you have it. That is how you import gear with Doomgaze. Now to export gear, let's say you find some items you like, or you're creating a build or something like that into another folder because you want to have like multiple builds for a character. All you do is just you make a new folder and then you export to the desired folder. For instance, I'm not going to make a new folder here, but let's just export these to the desktop, these items. You would just do this. You go edit again. Then you have to select each item individually. Go export. And I'm not going to export it. That's into Fire's folder. I'm just going to do it on the desktop. Yeah, let's go desktop. You just select that item export, and as you see here on the desktop here, this made that made a royal circlet file there. That is an item file. Export Dragon's Ring of the Zodiac. Now you don't want to, because we have two Dragon Zod rings here, you don't want to export over the other one because they are two different rings. So this one I want to rename it, and I'm just going to do this so that they are indeed different. So both Dragon Zod rings are exported. You can export the amulet, bow, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to bother exporting the plate. That's how and then you hit OK, and the items are exported. This is what I do when I do Laz runs. If I find something nice and I want to keep it, I just open up Doomgaze, export the item to the desired folder, name it as necessary, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Now the really cool thing with this, though, not only can you keep an organized item pool this way with gear and export and import at will, but you can also have character files. Like I said, you can save character files, and that way you can have different builds that you can change on the fly. If you're let's say you're dealing with your buddies, and you want to change, and he brings in a different class, and you have to change gear. Instead of having to change an SV file or dig through items or something, you can just change the build on the fly. It's pretty awesome. What you're going to do is, I guess before I even get into that, I should show you how to save a character file first. Instead of hitting edit, let's say I want to save this file as it is, and let's call it, let's make a new folder for it. We're going to go new folder, and let's just call it Fire Ice 1, for instance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save, and you can see here it's going to name the file in my character's name. We go desktop, let's go into the Fire Ice 1 folder, hit save, bam. That character file is now saved. So let's pretend for a moment. I'm going to take off her items. Let's pretend for a moment that I have a different build on. The character's naked, but let's just say I'm wearing a different build, and I need to change builds on the fly because I'm going to be doing something else. Either I need different gear. I'm just going to go restore, and I'm going to make sure I'm in the right folder. Desktop Fire Ice 1. I'm going to change that build that I just saved there. You select the file, hit open, hit OK. Now this is where you want to be careful. As you can see, it's showing my gear here on, but my character graphic is still showing me naked. Before you do anything at this point, anything at all, re-equip your items. Don't walk, don't do anything else. Re-equip, otherwise Diablo's going to crash. Typically you can just re-equip the armor to change the graphic so you don't crash. I like to re-equip all the items though. So I'm going to take my plate, take it off, put it back on, bam, and your character is updated. I like to do this just to make sure that the game is reading that all the items are indeed equipped. And there you have it. Let's do a real file now. Let's go to Restore. Let's go to Desktop. Diablo character files, and these are my actual files that I have saved here. I have 4 different files of Fire Ice that I use. Let's say I wanted to change to a PvP bow file. Go in that folder, bam, open, restore, and same deal. Let me re-equip before I do anything so I don't crash. And there's the items for that file that I have in that file. All the necessary items. Let's say I want to play Melee Rogue. Same deal, go restore. Let's go to a different file. I just click up here, go to PvP Melee file. Open, character restored, and there it is. Again, re-equip so you don't crash. And there's all the items on this file. It's really an awesome little program. Like I said, this program can be used for malicious purposes to export other people's characters and their gear. But with the small population that plays Diablo 1 now, this isn't really an issue. If you try exporting somebody's gear now, you're probably going to be caught unless you totally play alone and you don't upload your characters to the Tristram database. I guess in that sense you wouldn't be caught, but if you do export somebody's gear and you go around flaunting, hey, look what I found, you're probably going to get caught because people, especially old school players like myself, keep scans of their characters. We know our item codes, and we're going to know if you exported our gear or not by being able to look at the scans or the character database on Tristram. So don't do that. Besides, you don't want to export other people's gear anyway because you don't know the origin of it. You don't know if that gear truly is legit. You only have their word to go by. So there you have it. That is how you use Doomgaze. I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you guys later. Happy hunting.